Well, good evening, everyone. I am Daisy, your hostess, and I want to thank you for joining me for tonight's live event, one of my special tarot and oracle readings. So, with that, let's see who's in the room already. Madeline, I'm glad you made it to the room. Good evening. Good evening to you, and hope that you are well too. And let me just kind of give you a little breakdown of the itinerary, what we're going to do in our live session, which I call Playing with Angels. Yes, because the oracle cards that I use mostly will have angels on them. So I want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my Patreon community. I know that you know who you are, so I want to say thank you so much for your support. And our community means a lot to me. So thank you so very much for being a part of that and supporting me through that portal. Also, what we're going to do today, as I'm doing here with the Playing with Angels. Hello, Dee Dee. How are you? Mwah, 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 mwah. We're going to start off the session with my darling Tibetan bowl. And the purpose of that is to synchronize our energies and to, bring that vibe together, but also to give you an opportunity to give yourself permission to say, hey, I'm going to turn off the world. I'm going to relax. I'm going to watch my breath, because when I do that in a little bit, I'm going to ring the Tibetan bowl and I'm going to make it sing for about 2 minutes. And I encourage you to close your eyes and just to sink in your chair. And in the beginning, or wherever you're at, if you're laying down, that's fine too. And as you take those deep first breaths, hold it in and exhale. And as you exhale, just kind of whoosh, get the stress out and just literally say, stress get out, or pain be gone, or whatever it is. Just tell yourself, this is my time. And when you breathe in, visualize healing energy coming through. And then after 3 of those little moments, go into like your rhythmic breathing and just feel that sense of you breathing, you being in your space. What does it feel like? And just there. And then I'll ring the bell and then we'll come out of that session. And then I'm going to follow that by bibliomancy. And you all know what that means. It's just grabbing any book and just, picking up a paragraph on there and reading it and seeing kind of what does it say to you. So our bibliomancy session is coming from Marianne Williamson, the book titled Illuminata, A Return to Prayer. So we will do that. And then we're going to get into our pick a card, pick a deck. So let's see. Dee has a question, darling. Pop it in. I've got my little note here. Give me the question and I'll write it before I get started and come back to it. So yeah, I got some room in here. Linda, hello. And you look like you in New York. Yes, Madeline. It's Florida. I get it. Central Florida. Hello, because I called my mom and it wasn't just called, and she's down in Miami. And I think we're at 37 right now, and it's 7 o'clock at night. And I actually, over there in my little area, my little meditation center, I've got my hat, my scarf, and my gloves. Literally, I was like that just a few minutes ago, and I'm like, okay, I can't do this in front of these people. I'm in freaking Florida. But anyway, yeah. So it's pretty cold here. You at 32. So I don't envy you. The thing is, I noticed that the Florida cold, because of the humidity, bites over there in upstate, because I'm from upstate. I was born in New York, Queens, New York. Yes, I'm a queen. So it's dry air. You don't have the humidity. So it's like literally when you guys don't have any, like just walking around with a sweater, and we're like here bundled up in coats because it's that humidity that gets into your bones. She does look like she's in New York. Yeah, freaking Florida, and it's freezing. The grass, let me tell you, on Thanksgiving Day, and I hope that you all had a beautiful Thanksgiving, and that you stuffed yourself very well, if anything, with love and all the beautiful things that your heart desires. So we had a beautiful Thanksgiving here at my place, and we ended it up with a bonfire. It was so cold, but it was just perfect, and everything was still green. The next day, like literally, the temperature dropped, and now like it's Florida fall or winter. It's everything is like turning brown. And it's funny because my mom visited me this time in the summer. She's like, oh my God, everything's so green. Because she normally would come in for the winter. And everything just looks dull, you know. Ugh. So yeah, so it was kind of nice for her to see everything before it turned brown. I live in Queens, an upstate girl, born in Brooklyn. Okay. Yeah, we did have a safe Thanksgiving. Okay, so think about the numbers 1 through 3. I will pick one of these cards. I will show you the decks now, and I will do the full reading on one of those decks. D, go ahead and throw out your question. Throw out your question. Yeah, girl. So anyway, so the first deck that we're going to draw from for the first reading is going to come from Archangel Gabriel Oracle cards, and want to say that, so you can think about this because we're still going to do our little Tibetan bowl, and the stone that I'm drawing for associated with this deck this time is obsidian, black. Well, so this is called a snowflake obsidian, because if you look at those little designs, they look like little snowflakes. So anytime you see this particular rock, it's snowflake obsidian. And because of the black and white, this is associated with that yin and yang, helping you restore balance. So if you're feeling out of balance and you want this relationship here, this combination, we have snowflake obsidian for you. And also in a sense, because the dark of the stone also helps with that grounding, but mostly this is about balance. So you're feeling out of balance, this is the stone that helps you make those connections and restore balance. Additionally, the snowflake also brings us the idea that for us, if we need to identify something that we want help in, it helps us begin to see patterns in our thinking. And these are whatever, sometimes we have patterns that are debilitating, that don't help us. And we have patterns that elevate us, and both of them. So this, if you would like to have and identify some things in your life and establish these patterns, or see what your thinking patterns are, this will help bring them out so that you can make the correction along the way as well. And it's also associated with protection. So we have that with the Archangel deck. So I must have touched something on here. I have no idea what that was. But anyway, playing with angels, take 2. Okay, so the second deck that we will be using for playing with angels. So again, just think about which one you want. And what is going to be, of course, Healing with Angels. Healing with Angels, that's deck 2. And the stone that I'm going to associate it for this session is going to be blue tiger's eye, actually, blue tiger's eye. And so the blue tiger's eye is associated with finances, the manifesting prosperity, good luck. So this is associated with prosperity and good luck and success. So if this is what you're drawn to, then the second deck that I'm going to read from today is going to be number 2 with blue tiger's eye. So that's what we have for deck 2. And I want to make sure that I move very slowly around this area because I don't think I can afford to freeze a second time. Okay, and then our third deck that we're going to read from today, and your pick would be from Messages from Your Angels. And I am associating that stone with that deck with Tree Agate. Tree Agate. And Tree Agate is for inner peace and also healing, associated with the power of nature, the environment, the planet, that grounding. So this is what that Tree Agate is associated with. So again, we have Oh, I don't want to do that. But anyway, like, oh, I don't want to touch that over there, right? Okay. So again, we're going to be doing Archangel Gabriel, and that's associated with Snowflake Obsidian. We are doing Healing with Angels, associated with Blue Tiger's Eye, and Messages from Your Angels, associated with Tree Gate. Okay. That's what we're going to have with that. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and set the tone. Maybe I should have just done that Tibetan bowl right from the beginning to bring the calming energy. And Dee does have a question. Let's see. Linda found me. Yes, y'all back here. Madeline was saying she wants number 3. Okay. And Dee does have a question. She said, what's going to happen with my current job situation? So we will go ahead and do that. And if there's anyone that has a specific question from Patreon and you would like me to go ahead and do that, I'll go ahead and do the card for you. So Dee, I'm putting you down here that you wanted a specific question. So we'll go ahead, just write it down. We're going to go into the vibe for a minute, and I'll look at the chat and pull anything if you've written it down. So give yourself a little bit moment here just to relax. Come with me. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Exhale and drop your shoulders. I feel like I should have done that in the beginning. Yeah, there's some crazy juju here. Some electrical little gnome was running around here pulling my cables. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and jump on to the blue mincy. Let's see what can be drawn from here. And if you're back in the room, I see that I do have people back in the room. Just say hello. I want to make sure that that you were able to find me. Okay, so let's see what the collective message is going to be for us, and how can we connect to this. Howdy, Linda. Glad you made it back. Okay, whoa. So this is interesting. This says prayers for the soul and prayers for a new life. So let's see what this really brings us. Dear God, today and this day I give to you. Do within me what you want to do. Please make of my heart your vessel and servant. May the glorious light of the Lord of creation find a restful home inside my soul. May I be no more who I used to be. I embrace the divine child within me. May it burst forth now to bless the world. May I not be tempted to doubt the light that lights the entire world. Illumine the earth and save the world. Thank you, Lord. Amen. So, as a collective, this is a beautiful message, kind of reminding us that we, as much as we'd like to believe that we're in control, but that's all ego, that there is something greater that guides us if we allow that to happen for us. And when we do, the burden is not so heavy, and opportunities and people and situations begin to come into our life because we are allowing that light that is in me, that is in you, to work for me, but it's also going to work for you because we are connected in that sense. And so the synchronicity of things begin to happen and those connections begin to happen. And as I no longer begin to judge you, nor judge myself, I see the different opportunities and my load and is much better. And through that process, through that light, the world is saved. So I find that to be a beautiful message. So perhaps this is something that we yearn. We yearn for, that world, and we yearn for that light within ourselves. And that's an opportunity that, we can create for each other. All right, let's do this. I did say that I was going to throw that card for Dee, so I don't know if she can make it back here, but hopefully that will find its way. So Dee's question was, what's going to happen with my current job situation? Okay, Dee. And if there's anyone else from Patreon that has a specific question, give it to me now before I start on the decks, okay? On the pick a deck, on the reading. Okay, so I will throw 2 cards for this answer, and let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have the 7 of Rods showing up for you, Dee, and in that sense, it's like there's no movement right now. As you can see, this person is behind this fence, and this is upside down. So I'm taking this as this particular moment, there isn't any mobility, but there could be something down the road. There could be some, and I don't see that it's so much your current job situation. There is going to be what I feel some shifting, and I don't know if that's at the corporate level, but I'm feeling that this block is going to be removed. There's going to be some options for you, and let's see what that shows up here. Look at this. The fertility that we see here, the Empress, this one is right side up. So new things are going to be offered to you. And I see this like mature deer in the back. And somehow I see the reflection of these sticks, but they're now over there as a forest growing. Things are coming around. We see the Empress, the sign of fertility and opportunity. So there could be something down the road for you when it comes to your job. And I don't know, it could be 7 days, 7 weeks, but in the near future for sure. That's the message that I see in regards to your job. Yes. The Empress is showing that, the something new about it. Something is going to come of that situation. And this one, whatever this is with the fence, whatever was being blocked, that's going to be removed. So that's what we have for you. Is there anybody else that from the Patreon community that, one door closes, another opens? That's how that happens. Madeline has a question about, will everything work in my marriage? Okay. Okay, let's see. We'll do 2 cards for that, Madeline. Okay, and if there's anyone else on Patreon that would like a specific question, just let me know and I'll do 2 cards. Okay, I'll do 1 and 2. Okay, well, look at that. Immediately we come into celebration. We see couple. We see, all these cups and all this plentiful. There's love. There's a lot to be grateful for. And I see the union here. So this marriage is working out in what is being put in. You can only get out of the marriage what you're going to put in, but it looks like there's a foundation that comes from a sincerity here. And there's also a lot people depend on both of you, not just one of you. And so let's see what the second card is. Okay, so it's interesting. We have the 6 of rods here. So I'll face it the right way so you can see here. And usually it could be, Madeline, that maybe right now, because this is the 6 of rods, and it could be that there are some things that you both are not seeing eye to eye. But the foundation of that relationship is really, it comes from a true place, a caring place, a sincere place. But if there is something, if you're feeling some stress in the relationship, it's not unusual. The only important thing is that you need to talk about it, because 6 is representative of what is called universal love. And so there's an issue here about some things that, like, where are we going? And maybe those are questions that, maybe you might need to, find a counselor, a marriage counselor, to help both of you discuss those things in a healthy way, where you don't offend each other, but yet you can bring out the best of each other, because the foundation is there. The foundation is there, and maybe it's just a chapter, just like everything in life. There are ups and downs, and sometimes we when we get those downs, they hurt so bad, and we forget that we had so much good that's helping us get through the bad. So this could just mean that there is a challenge in the relationship that needs to be discussed, but there is love there, but you've got to work at that. Okay. So having said that, I'm going to go ahead and jump in right to our pick a deck reading. And again, if you're interested in a private consultation with me, please go to www.fortuneforecast.com. How does that work? I have 20 and 40-minute sessions. You pick. I'll get the message. I will contact you back, and we both will figure out the best time to set that reading. Okay, beautiful. So I am using that main tarot deck for the foundation of the reading, and we'll go ahead and then we will supplement it with the angels. So for the first deck, which is from Archangel Gabriel, let's take a look at a little bit of some of the issues that you've been dealing with, and see how that's going to pan out for you for the next 30 days or so. I do have one more live event coming on December 15th. That's a Sunday. That's the full moon for December, and our last live event together. So if you want to write that down on your calendar, we'll be back live, and hopefully we won't have a disconnect like we had now. So I'm going to throw a few cards, and then we'll complement it with the angel cards. So for those that picked deck number 1, we see here that you are trying to juggle finances, or you're trying to juggle your time, or you're trying to juggle your career and life and your own self, and there's a little bit of a struggle. There's a little bit of a disconnect. And so this could be that issue. And it's interesting because, remember, we drew the snowflake obsidian for balance, and take a look at what this person is doing on this card, trying to balance themselves. So it's kind of out of balance, and it's interesting because even the little pentacles here look like little snowflakes. So let's take a look at what your second card might draw. And hello, twins on wheel. Okay, so here we go with the second card. For those that selected one, interesting because now we went backwards and it looks like you're trying to, with the Ace of Pentacles showing up in your life right now, for those that picked deck one, it's like you want to go back to the beginning. You want to regroup yourself because it's like you want to remember what your cause is, what your goal is, what you want to do. And that's going to be a way for you to remove some of the distraction that we see here with the Two of Pentacles. Interesting how this is showing up. You're looking to restore this balance and the purpose, and that's kind of the place for you. So let's take a look at your third card in that sense, and then we'll draw some angel cards on top of that. Okay, beautiful. So the final outcome for those that picked deck number one is the Sun. This is all about that brightness. This is all about clarity. This is about getting through and knowing that, every small step that you take in a positive direction and proactively towards these things and that destination that you're trying to get. The thing is that you have to make sure that these distractions and the things that throw you out of balance are eliminated from that formula. And that will get you here. That will get you to the balance that we see again. You see that balance, the yin and the yang. So let's get more clarity about the imbalance that will help you kind of work through that. And what does Archangel Gabriel say for that for you? Okay, interesting that this first message is upside down. And I get this. It's interesting for me. It makes a lot of sense. I'll read you the message and then I'll interpret what I'm getting. So it says here, polishing your creative project is fine, but don't allow perfectionistic fear to result in procrastination. So if you've asked yourself, hey, I've got this Two of Pentacles. A lot of things in my life are out of balance. They're out of whack. I'm taking too many things and I'm not finishing anything. And maybe it's this. It's because you want to get things right, but it's stifling you. Sometimes that is the problem. You don't get started because you feel like you don't have all the information. You don't get started because you feel like you don't have all the money. You don't get started because you feel like you don't have all the credentials. You don't get started because maybe you feel like you're not ready for that relationship. Whatever this means that is throwing you off from getting started, well, the angels are saying, hey, you're striving to be the ideal. You're striving for perfectionist from yourself and from others. And, that's a very lofty way to even, start on anything, because then you're going to keep waiting for the right time, and the right time may never be there because you're always getting ready for it. And you're just struggling, as we can see that. So let's take a look at the final message here for those that picked deck number one, and see how you can progress forward. What will the angels reveal, and what can be interpreted from that? Okay, so it says here, listen only to love. And so it's interesting because we have the phoenix rising, the sun, and showing you that there is a way out. And the message here says, don't allow fear to distract you from your divine mission. And so that is your mantra. It's like, wake up in the morning, write it on a 3x5 card, and tell yourself, I do not allow fear to stop me from my divine mission. And just say that to yourself when you feel that you're procrastinating, when you feel that you're afraid for whatever reason that might be showing up in your life. Use that as the mantra, and you'll get closer to this realization, to the light, at the end of the tunnel. Okay, and lastly, for every one of I'm going to finalize each of the pick a deck readings with the Soul Truth. The Soul Truth self-awareness card deck, so that we can get you a little exercise. Okay, get you a little exercise for you. So this is for deck one, and it says, am I? So the question is, Am I on the right path? Okay. And so I will read this and I'll turn it over so you can read this and you can pause the video later on. It says here, sometimes we second guess what we are doing. See, that's that perfectionist. See how these cards are working together? We lose trust in the process and question if we are even on the right path at all. But remember, the sun, the ace of, well, let's look at this for deck one. The ace is showing you a path. You have to get past this table and you're going to get on the path. And it says here, know this, you are on the right path. Keep going, keep believing, keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not real. So the soul action says, today, search for all the ways you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will appear. Let this new found trust fuel your next steps. So I'll go ahead and pause it here so you can, there you go, so you can see it. And see that the confirmation in the sun is here in your soul action. Just begin to trust and to know that you are on that right path. Be patient with yourself. Don't keep procrastinating and trust the process. Let go for that process. Remember what we had in the bibliomancy about, trusting that process, or that whole thing about this guidance and trust and believing. So it's all working together. Okay, let's go on now to deck number 2, the one with the tiger's eye. So the tiger's eye is about abundance, prosperity, success, and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I am so hesitant. I don't want to touch anything because I don't want to paralyze the screen again. Oh, it's so sad. But anyway, I think later I'm going to have to just take the videos and actually bring them down and then put them back up. So we're not going to have the chat on that feature, but it's okay because it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here about perfectionist. I'm believing and I'm trusting that whatever I'm doing is the right thing. So I can't be overwhelmed with that. So the next deck is from Healing with Angels, and we are associating that with the Blue Tiger's Eye, success, finances, prosperity. So let's see what it's going to yield. And so far, no one picked deck number 2. Everyone did 1 and 3, right? Okay. So, well, I'm glad y'all already successful. Okay, so for those in the future, because these videos, they are timeless, timeless tarot, really, that's what this is. So whenever anyone reaches this video, it's still pertinent to that moment in time. Okay, so let's see for those that picked deck 2, what are some of the things that you're just kind of going through right now and kind of dealing with and letting go? Oh, the Knight of Swords. This guy looks like he's really like either pissed off. That's my perception, right? Pissed off that something happened. His energy is that you've been dealing with someone that kind of was, in my perception of this message coming from the recent past, wasn't with the program for you, even though we're talking about the Knight of Swords, we're talking about ideas or communication, but, considering when we're putting this in the position that I drew it, coming from the past, it's like they want to go back. They want to go back and they want to keep rehashing something from the past. And you're not there. You want to move on. But this is going to be revealed in the next few cards. But we see that there's still some issues from the past that's still trying to come into the future. And if you allow this influence to affect you, you don't, I don't know unless I throw more cards around this, but I'm kind of getting this weird collective communication that this may not be the thing that you want to bring into the new year. this like old baggage. So let's take a look. Let's throw more cards and see the gist of that, right? Let's see what else we can find out about, this situation and as it applies to right now. Okay. So here we go. Oh, darn. It's not going to go anywhere. We have the Eight of Rods. You see all these brooms and they're taking off and it looks fantastic, but we have this card being drawn in the reverse. So it's like, yeah, it's like this is futile, to go back to this. It's almost like, why would you go back to this situation that may bind you into the same old stuff that you are already wanting to move from? And as we see here with this woman and all these rods, which are really broomsticks, they're not like, hey, going anywhere, you see that? They're just like, you're spinning your wheels. And feels like it's so frustrating because you do have the power. See, you see that, but you're not using the power to put an end to this thing. It's like, whatever this is, if this could be old thoughts, or if this could be someone that's trying to influence and affect you or drag you down into the darkness that they're in, and it's not a very healthy thing for you. But you see, with this red dress, we see the power, but the fact is that you're not employing it. You're not standing your ground on that. And it's time to kind of, say, hey, I just, I'm not comfortable with this anymore. I'm ready to move on, right? So Linda chose 2. So to Linda, we're in 2 now. So let's see how we can progress out of this, or see how that can progress forward. We've got this situation here. We've got these old ideas, or this person that just wants to keep you in this loop. And then you understanding, hey, this isn't going anywhere. And if I take a ride with this idea, or if I stay along with this person, I'm just going to keep getting the same old stuff. And okay, we had a jumper. So I'll get 2 cards. We'll take the jumper first and see what it's all. Oh, another one. Oh, so we're isn't that interesting? The 8 of Wands and then the 8 of Cups. And this cup is, in reverse. And we see it's like emotionally, this is wasting you. Like emotionally, it's not filling you. And this is more of that explanation of what the situation is. I'd like to know, if you pick number 2, how relevant is this in your life? Do you have a situation where, you keep falling, or someone keeps dragging you into the past, or into their problems, or into their world? And do you see this situation here with the 8 of Swords, knowing that there's a part of you that knows, hey, I know this isn't healthy. I need to get out of this. It's in my control, but I'm not taking any action. So the question, if this is you, the 8 of Cups, kind of into the future position, saying, this isn't healthy for me emotionally. Take a look. All these cups are here, walking away from this, but here it's like there's this vapid feeling. It's like all spilling down, whether it's gossip in the back and people talking, it's useless, and then you can't do anything with it because it's not progressing forward. So I'll go ahead and take a second card for that 3rd position and see where it's going to take us. So I'm going to just split the deck. I'm going to split the deck and just draw. Okay, so the High Priest. Again, the High Priest is saying you have to listen to your intuition. And getting through this is going to be your challenge. And, hearing like the bird, it gives you the messages, and taking time to listen to those messages is going to help you get out of that. And as you make those spiritual connections, and as you, find that strength within you, as the High Priest is, showing you, then you can move on. You can move on and release yourself. I feel that this situation, whether it's your mind in the past or someone trying to keep you in the past, someone that's dragging you towards the past, is is something that you're going to have to deal with. It's, I feel like the way I'm getting a message says something like, this is a karmic lesson that, oh, like, remember how the thing says a contract, that you need to come to terms with and, break so that you can grow. Oh, so Linda says that it is very relevant. Wow. So now I'll go ahead and, supplement it with the angel deck and see what, especially about that first card, and let's see what association we're going to get with that Knight of Sword and see what it will reveal. So meditation, meditation. And so this is where you find yourself, this is the messages, like, um, really addressing the situation. And it's funny because we did get the high priest, and he's coming from the future telling you into the past, you can fix this, but you need to go dig deep inside to find the courage to get the guidance on how to take action with this. And I'll call it a dilemma, because anything that we're trying to overcome presents itself as a dilemma, because the mind that we're using to get out of it still is the mind that can't see how to get out of it. And so we need to ask for that guidance. And it's in that stillness, by asking ourselves, as if we were already in the future, how did you do it? Why is this not healthy for you? Why are you staying there? What does this mean to you now? And so as you do that, then you will reprogram the mind, and a new mind will be there giving you the new solution. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what Spirit is guiding me to tell you right now. So I want to throw another card on that 8 of rods and see more clarity on that particular, and see what the angels want to reveal to you for those that picked number 2. And interesting, I don't know how to take this, but here we go. These two are upside down, and it's interesting that there is an element of red, an element of power and action. But now that we're getting this, it's like there are other people involved. And we could say that there are children in your life, that you feel that the decision, or why you stay in this old state of mind, or with this person that just doesn't is just what they have to offer is not really positive. But it seems like you're, and I don't want to say it's the excuse, but it just seems right now that, and because the children are upside down, I can tell you that the message just came through. You cannot use that as your clutch. You see, this is the right side up. So you can't say that I'm doing this, or I'm here, or I'm stuck with that because of children, or because of a relationship, or other people that count on you. That, I have to say, is lame, because now the angels have told me, says, no. That's a crutch that that feels safe, and it keeps you from progressing forward. But you've got to break that. You've got to break that, and understand that you are in control, so that you can move forward. You see, these broomsticks are moving forward, but in the reverse, they're not. Just as this situation, the way that the card was drawn, that's interesting right there. So I will draw the third angel card on those that picked deck number 2, just to get more clarity of what this high priest is really trying to share, and what wants to tell you, and what the messages from the angels are. Okay. Okay, so it's interesting. And we have the miracles in reverse. And so the miracles are open to you, and they're available to you once you let go of the old. And that's the work you have to do. That's the karmic opportunity. Like, I am getting a message that those that pick deck number 2 are going through some heavy experience in their life right now, but they're at the end of it. But this end could take you into a loop back to the beginning, if you don't pass this test. So it's like it will be Groundhog Day if you don't make the right adjustments. Does that make any sense? I hope it does, because you deserve all the miracles that, as a sovereign child of this beautiful creation. It's you, all the blessings are yours, and lifting up the excuses and the fears and the limitations inside of you, will set you free and open up to these miracles that are here, because they're here. And the high priest is letting you know there's a way out. I'm showing you, and let the angels work with you and guide you through this process, and be willing to understand that you are at the end of this karmic lesson. And this is the exam. And whoever said that exams were easy, we always get like the butterflies in our belly, and, but real test is real. And, to come out the other side, full of joy, mature here with the high priest and open to the miracles. Okay. Let's move on to deck 3. I hope that this may illuminate, give you some light and some guidance on that. And that you have the courage and the strength to take the appropriate action. Oh, wait. I forgot. I've got to do the soul truth. Let's see what your soul truth card is. It'll be interesting how it resonates with that reading, right? With deck 2 reading. Okay, it's interesting how this goes. How does my body want to move today? So it's interesting because we had a relative stay over and talking about some pains they were having, and then found out that there was so many just problems, in the home life. And then I said, well, did you ever think that all those problems are parking themselves in your back, and this is why you're painful? So anyway, interesting how I'm bringing this up, probably because there is a relationship here. So this one is, how does my body want to move today? And it says here, when we move, we change our state and raise our vibration. This new elevated state becomes a channel for more energy. Are you moving your body daily? Are you passionate about it? Is it time to try something new? So today's soul action: how does your body want to move today? Listen and joyfully do. So you can pause this so that you can, read the message, read the action. And if this applies to you, and you feel that, you've been stagnant and sore, and well, this might help also loosen up anything else that's stuck in your spiritual body as well. So just try it, just try it. It doesn't hurt. The best that can happen is you feel great, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and put these together, and we're going to go to deck 3. And deck 3 is associated with the gem that I have here, which is the tree agate. And let's go ahead. So this is the gem, tree agate, and we are using messages from your angels as the complementing deck. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and shuffle up and see what we have in store. Okay, those that picked number 3. Deck number 3. Let's take a look at some of the recent issues that you've been dealing with. Okay, looks like you've been dealing with someone, a complicated person here in a bit. The Queen of Pentacles have been a little bit demanding. This person has been, a little bit disagreeable, I would even add, at times. So there's been some interesting things that we see here with this deck here, with the Queen of Pentacles showing up. So if that's you, this is what we have to deal with right now. And it seems that it's something that you've been dealing with, this person or personality that right now just kind of a little bit at odds. Nothing that you could do could be right. Just a little bit of a challenge. And it's almost like you can't move forward. You can't agree, something like that. Let's get more information here. Get a little bit more information about what's going on with those that picked deck 3. Oh, wow. So not only do we get the Queen in reverse, but we have the King of Pentacles. And so it's interesting that this male energy showing in this, it's like, how are you, and this could be those two things, could be this male energy that is confident, that is much you get through this situation from this external thing, here, this external person, I don't want to call it thing, but yeah, the situation here with the Queen in reverse, but yet, how are you getting through that? It's just kind of finding that common ground, being the bigger person, that's the king, just understanding that king is the one that oversees the whole realm, and so in that sense, there's this confidence, there's this maturity, there's this already stability, and so that's what is kind of putting that situation in the backdrop, so that it's not affecting your everyday activity. So let's take a look. One more card here as we move forward. And, how do we get... I already feel that this is a lot of mundane activity with this card. So let's get a little more. Let's get a little more information. Okay. Well, interesting that we have the Eight of Swords. And so when you see this card like this, it looks like this Eight of Swords, this person is trapped in this, what I call the mechanics or the scheming of this Queen of Pentacles. The good news is that the Eight of Swords is in reverse. And so these swords are easily going to kind of fall down. And I think it's the energy of the king that is going to make no sense or nonsense out of this manipulation that somebody tried to kind of stick. They almost like they tried to set you up. They try to frame you. They try to, sway the situation or the manipulation of the mind to kind of picture or paint you in a certain way. But it's not working because this energy that you are using, the energy of confidence, is throwing them off, and it's going to throw them off. So that's what you have working for you. And so keep that energy. Remember what you need is to keep that state of mind and the confidence and the gratitude of the things you've been able to achieve. That's what's holding you up, all of that. And nobody can take that part away from you. So let's address some of these through the messages from the angels and see what pops up, right? Let's see what pops up. Wow, I love it. So it's like, as we're looking at this first card here, Archangel Uriel pops up immediately saying, your emotions are healing, which enables you to open to greater love. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. What a great message, especially when you're dealing with I would say, a stubborn or confrontational person. The approach that Archangel Uriel is offering is one of love, one of forgiveness, and one that helps you release your anger. And isn't that interesting? When we go back to the stone that we pulled, we have here the tree agate. And if you remember that this was all about that inner peace and, that nature, this is really, I could see how these beautiful stones, each one is so proper for the deck that was assigned to it. And I just did it randomly. I just grabbed it and, I closed my eyes, I shook them up, and I put one on each deck. And it's interesting how, for the reading, right? You can't, this is all like so random. And then to listen to the reading with the stone, also just lining perfectly with it. It's beautiful. Okay, so let's get a little bit more insight. I want to know about this Eight of Swords and see what shows up for you, those that picked deck number 3. Okay, so we have Sonia. I already know what Sonia is, and isn't that interesting? They're both reverse. So it says, I bring you a message from your deceased loved one. I am happy, at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. So the way that I see this, in a positive way, it's like, not that that someone from the other side is reaching out to you, but as it relates to these swords, um, it's it's like it's done, it's over, and because it's in reverse, there's no reaching, there's no making up, there's nothing. This little thing that the manipulations and machinations that were coming from this person as it started, it's not going to work on you. They're like helpless. It's like they could try, but it's not going to work. You've got higher power. You've got Archangel Uriel just sitting there and just whacking off any anger and bringing that forgiveness into your heart and bringing love, so that it's like it bounces right off, like Teflon. It's just, so powerful that this thing into the future is not so. So I like the reading. Definitely, if I had to choose, I think I prefer the messages from the deck one. The other two are very, very like there's lessons in it from day experiences, and that's how the soul work starts. It starts through those relationships that we have, and we begin to kind of realize not to take things so personal, because we're doing soul work, but it just is coming through people work here in the natural. So let's take a look at the message from the soul truth, and what soul action is going to be for you. Madeline said beautiful. She picked number 3. Okay, so let's see what soul action. So in here it says, what am I waiting for? Someone else to do it for me? So that is the message. And so it says here, are you waiting on someone else before you can take the big leap? What if you were to take life into your hands and forge your own unique path? Put your heart into action and ask yourself, what risk can you take to move towards your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more waiting for others. Do it scared. Take the leap. Today's soul action: no more thinking, only doing. Be brave, and you will discover what you are really made of. Wild soul, strong heart, can't lose. And I tell you, the king is that. So yeah, I'm going to put it right here so that you can pause it, and so you can, read it at your leisure, and, implement some soul action for yourself. For you. Well, but I want to say thank you so very much. I hope that these messages bring you some clarity. I also hope that it can bring you some action, so that empowering you, so that you know that it's on you, and also the ability to allow that guidance, to get you where you need to go. As long as you tell yourself, I am here satisfying the soul mission, and I will surrender to that, and I accept the challenges, and I overcome them graciously. That's a good thing right there, graciously. So I want to say thank you so very much to all of you. I look forward to my Patreon community for Pick a Card meditation, and it's going to be interesting how we're going to do it in the chat room in the community tab. That's where I'm not going to be sending any cards through Messenger or nothing like that. We're going to be sharing all the cards so that we can just help each other out. So it's just something new, and if you like it, we'll keep that format. And then on Sunday, December 15th, we'll come back for full moon angel messages. I do have a big request. Please share this with your friends. Bring as many people on for the end of year live event so we can have a nice little party. Just take the link and just put it out there, and let's have a little fun. So I want to say thank you very much. I love you. With this, I'm going to sign out, and I'll ring the bell and wish you a blessed evening.